Hi, I'm Marilyn San Clemente, and welcome to my creative playground. I'm going to show you how to do, it's actually a combination of two techniques. It's a technique called double time. So what I've got here is I have a piece of crushed curry that is 8.5 by 11 that I've scored at 4.25 to make my card base. I actually probably should have cut another piece of white. I'll put another piece of white on the inside. And then I have this piece, which is 5 3/8 by 1 1/8, and this piece, which is 2.5 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to put that on here. And what I'm going to do is there's a technique called triple time, but I'm only doing this with 2 layers instead of 3, so I guess we could call it double time. And what I'm going to do, I just put a glue dot on there to get that, to hold that. My giant sunflower, which I love. Very pretty set. Oops, that's a little bit crooked. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I have my early espresso ink, so that's a dark brown. That's this color. And I'm going to ink up my sunflower with the early espresso. And I'm going to stamp that along the edge and onto the middle. You just want to make sure you add a lot of pressure to that. There we go. All right. I have the leaf stamps that go with that as well. And I'm going to stamp a couple of those. I should have made a mask, and I didn't. I think I did. I think I did. I have a little mask. Okay. Okay, well, we'll use the little mask in place of the big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my first leaf along the bottom here. So I just want to cover up that edge, and I'm going to use the little bit larger leaf. And the reason why I'm covering up that edge is I want the leaf to look like it's behind. I want to, it's kind of backwards when you're doing something like this. And the reason why is you want the leaf to look like it's behind it. You're going to cover up the edge and then stamp over that edge where you've covered it. And then it will look like the leaf's coming out from behind the image. Like that. There we go. Like so. So that's how you make a mask. Normally, I would have made a mask of the big flower and just used that. I did not grab my Post-it notes. So what you want to do is when you make a mask, you want to stamp the image on the Post-it notes. This is the sticky side here. And then you want to cut out around the image. And I just keep those in my box so that anytime I want to use them, I have them available. So that's kind of one of my tricks with masks. So sometimes when you open up my stamp boxes, I've got lots of little sticky notes inside the stamp, inside the box. And the reason why is the, oh shoot, I got that there. Oh well. Okay, so now I'm going to color this with my blends, and then we'll put this whole card together. I will have to find something to put over here. Okay, so what I have is I have 2 shades of blends here, or more than 2. I have Mango Melody. I have the, I have 2 light Mango Melodies. And I have the dark Daffodil Delight and the light Daffodil Delight, which is what I want. Because I want to be able to take the Mango Melody and use that. And then the other thing that I have is my soft suede and the cinnamon cider, which is kind of a reddish brown. And what I want to do is I actually want to check this because I may not have the right colors here. Okay, so I have the cinnamon color and I have the soft suede. And I kind of think that those aren't going to blend too well. Huh? No, they might be okay. No, they might be okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take this cider and I'm going to go around this section here, kind of the center of the flower, which is a little bit darker. And I'm going to do kind of the outline of the edge here. Okay, and let's see. I'm going to pull this up a little bit more. There we go. And then, okay, so I started with the cinnamon cider and I outlined that edge. So now I'm just going to kind of color in with the soft suede. And that's the dark soft suede. I'm not sure how I'm going to like this center, but I have lots of ideas for the color for the flower. Okay, and now I've got the light soft suede, and I'm going to use that and kind of blend. I want to blend these colors together. And so what you do is you pull in the colors, and I kind of do kind of a swirl type of thing, and it pulls the colors from both sides there. There we go. So it shades it, so you see the different colors are coming out, but it shades it a little bit. It kind of, it blends them together, which I guess is why this is called blends. So, okay, now for the sunflower itself, I have the 2 shades of daffodil, and I have the light mango. And so mango, so let me show you what those look like. So these pens have 2 sides, that's the mango, and they have a brush tip and a writing tip. And then this is the dark, actually that daffodil looks darker than the mango. And then here's the light daffodil. And usually what I like to do is do the darker colors first, and then I use the light color afterwards over it. And you can then blend the colors so your lines kind of go away, and it just shades from a darker into a light. So you can do that here too with this. So that type of a thing. Okay, so now this is called, we're going to highlight this. So what we want to do is I only want to color, oops, okay, let me grab that off. There we go. I used the glue dot to put that down, so I'm just going to peel that away. Okay, so the whole idea with this is it's a highlighting technique. We're only going to color in the parts of the sunflower that are on the smaller piece, and we're going to leave this as an outline. So I'm going to move that piece away. I will bring this over. And let's do the leaves first. So I have my dark old olive, and what I'm going to do is kind of outline the veins of the leaves. I like to do that first. And then I like to take my light old olive with the brush tip end and kind of color in my leaf, and then I use that lighter color and pull the darker color out to fill in. So then the center of the leaf where the veins are is the darker shade, and it's a little bit lighter around the edges, so it just gives it a really nice highlight and some nice shading, and gives the leaf some depth as well. So there's our leaf. Oops, and I didn't do this leaf down here. We have this guy. We have that little piece of a leaf here. Okay, so there's my little piece of leaf. Now I have my mango. And I'm going to use that, and I'm going to go over some of these lines. And again, all I'm doing is bringing out some of the folds of the petals and coloring along some of the edge of the petals there. Okay, and now I'm going to take my darker daffodil. Same thing. I'm going to go over some more of the folds. That's a little bit darker color. So you're kind of catching the shape of the petal. I like to go along with the shape of the petal and the edge of the petal. And again, this is another thing. You have to just practice this. Stamp a bunch of things and practice coloring. And it's a lot of fun. I find the coloring is very relaxing, especially after a stressful day. Okay, so now I have my lightest. I have the Daffodil Delight. And what I'm going to do is blend these shades together. And you almost want to leave some of the tips a little bit white. You want to leave little shadows of white in there. And what you should think about as you're coloring this is leaves, you know, are very multicolored. And you don't necessarily have to color the whole thing, because parts of leaves will have a white cast, or points will look a little bit white. So, and there's no right or wrong with this. This is what I really like about the alcohol markers, is you can really get that shading and you can get that detail in. Now you could use, because this is a sunflower, and there's also a hint of orange in there, so you could go as orangey, or you know, add some a little bit of orange in with a pumpkin pie blend. I didn't grab mine tonight. Add that. Okay, there we go. Okay. So I'll hold this up a little bit and you can see where there's some shading, and I apologize, my hand is very shaky. It's a family curse. My family has these tremors, and I'm trying to remember, familial tremor is the name of it. So, and now I'm going to take a really light, this is the light crumb cake, and actually I want to test it first. Okay, and what I'm going to do is go around just the outside edge of this very lightly, and then that's going to give a shadow, so it's going to look like the sun is hitting my sunflower, and it's going to give it a little bit of depth. You really don't want that to be dark. You just want just a little bit of a shadow, and that's just going to give the depth to the sunflower. There we go. And I don't want to go around the whole sunflower either. Okay, so now what we've done is we've colored in just the sunflower that's on this piece and not the whole thing. So now I have this piece of early espresso, which is an 1/8 of an inch larger. So I want a very thin margin on this. And when you use blends to color, the ink does run through, but that's part of using blends. Okay, I'm going to line that up. There we go. And now I'll put this all together. There we go. Okay. So there's I used the double time technique because I used 2 layers and I stamped over the layers, but in this case I only colored the inside of this. So that is called highlighting or shadowing. And then we're going to put this on here. And that's a piece of crushed curry, which is the darker yellow. Okay, I just need to, here's my thing. This isn't folded very well. Or it's just not a good crease. Okay, and so there's my card. Now what I want to do is, I'm going to try and cover this up. What I want to do is I want to look for something that I can use to make a background. The Painted Poppy set has these splotches in it, so I'm going to grab those. I'm going to grab the littlest one. 99% of the time there's a way to cover up mistakes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I have my crushed curry ink. Okay, and I'm going to practice on my scrap paper first. That's dark. Okay, so I don't want that dark. So we want kind of a lighter. Hey, pretty girl. Okay. So I'm stamping off once because I don't want it to be too dark, and I'm just going to add some color to the background there. Wow, and I just noticed that I put that on very crooked. So I'll fix that. Okay, so I just put one little splotch down here, and that will kind of make it look like it wasn't a mistake. Or kind of covers up that one area. Okay, and let me fix this because that's going to drive me nuts. Hopefully I can. Okay. One thing that I found with the seal, the new seal that we have, the new adhesive, is it is easier to pull it up and move things a little bit. So I didn't even pull that all the way up. I just pulled up the top of it, and I kind of moved it over a little bit. So I think that that's a little bit more even. Yeah, I think that's a little more even. Okay, and then the next thing that I would do is somewhere I have my, here we go. I have my Holiday Rhinestone Jewels, which has some yellows in it, and I just thought that would be really pretty with this. So actually, what we may do is cover that up. Okay, where's my, there we go. Is I'll put one of these little yellow rhinestones over here. There we go. I'll put a couple more. I'm just going to randomly place a couple of rhinestones around. There we go. Okay. I like that. I like the, actually I like it with this yellow, with the yellow splotches. That looks really nice. It really adds to that. So those are my cards for tonight. Where did my other one go that I had? Oh, that I made earlier today. So this one I made earlier today. If you missed my first description, this is the Forever Fern set, which is one of my favorite sets. And what I did was I took all the different holiday or the fall colors, which are the crushed curry, pumpkin pie, the Cajun craze, and I used shaded spruce just to throw a little bit of green in there. And then I used the plaid tidings paper, which is some really pretty plaid papers that we have, and I stamped the hello. That's from Forever Ferns. And then I used the new texture embossing folder, and I embossed this piece of Cajun craze and this background piece of the Very Vanilla. And I really like the way that came out. And then on the inside, I just added this cute little sprig. So those are my 3 fall cards. Thanks for stopping by tonight.